Have you ever wondered if a young man from a poor, forgotten town with no money, no connections, could turn a big dream into reality? Ben's story will make you think, feel deeply, and believe that nothing in life is free, but everything worthwhile begins with a single small step. Join me as we uncover the challenging yet extraordinary journey of a young soul brave enough to change his destiny. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, a place where every story is not just to be heard, but to be felt, to reflect on, to awaken something inside your heart. If you are looking for a reason to keep going, a light in the dark days, you are in the right place. Today's topic is called Nothing is Free. This is not just a title. It is a truth, a silent truth, sometimes painful, but full of strength, one that anyone with a dream must face. And so to help you feel this truth, not just understand it with your mind, I want to tell you a story. Not about a famous person, nor someone who has had brilliant success, but about a young man named Ben. Ben is 20 years old. He lives in a small town forgotten by time, with cracked roads and old houses. His family is poor, living day by day. His father is a mechanic, hands always stained with grease, back always aching. His mother is a cleaner, waking up before sunrise, coming home with swollen feet. Ben's little sister is only 10, but she is used to giving up her share of food and accepting no new books. Yet, amid all these difficulties, Ben dares to dream. And not a small dream. He dreams of becoming an entrepreneur, building his own chain of restaurants, changing life, not only for himself, but for his whole family. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and whispered to yourself, "How can I change my life?" Ben has been there. One night, under a starry sky, he sat silently on the porch. Around him were the sounds of crickets and distant dogs barking. Inside him were so many questions and overflowing desires. How can I help this family? How can I make sure Mom no longer has to bend over cleaning other people's houses? How can Dad rest instead of waking up every morning to rush to the repair shop? He felt small, helpless, but not hopeless, because somewhere in his heart a fire was still burning, a whisper. There must be a way. The next morning, Ben decided to sit down and talk to his father, not to complain, not to cry. Just gently ask, "Dad, I want to change my life, but I don't know where to start." His father didn't say empty words. He looked straight into Ben's eyes and said only one sentence, one that Ben would never forget. "Dreams aren't free, son. If you want something, start with what you have, even if it's the smallest." That sentence was like a spark catching fire in his heart, burning away all fear. From that moment, Ben realized one thing. If he just sat there waiting for a miracle, nothing would ever change. And from zero, his journey began. The first opportunity Ben suddenly realized something simple yet incredibly important. In his small town, there wasn't a single bakery selling fresh bread. A need that seemed ordinary but actually created a big gap, sparking a bold idea in Ben's mind. With a heart burning with passion and fierce self-belief, Ben decided to turn that empty space into his opportunity. Without hesitation, he set his sights on partnering with Mr. Anderson, the owner of a bakery located quite far from the town. Someone Ben barely knew, but knew well enough that his bakery was the only source of fresh bread that could serve the town. At first, Mr. Anderson didn't easily trust a young guy like Ben. He looked at Ben with a skeptical gaze, as if saying, "What can you possibly do with such a small chance?" But with persistence and sincere attitude, Ben convinced him to let him take bread on credit for 1 week. an opportunity Bin knew he had to hold on to tightly. Bin's first day in business was full of challenges, but also incredibly sweet. He ran around every corner, introducing fresh bread to everyone, wearing a bright smile and excitement shining in his eyes. And a miracle happened. All the bread sold out on that very first day. Bin not only paid Mr. Anderson in full, but also left a lasting impression of his determination and responsibility. At that moment, Bin felt a new surge of energy rise in his heart. The very first opportunity, though small, was a solid stepping stone bringing him closer to his big dream. A new journey had begun, full of promise and challenges, but Bin now knew that as long as he dared to start, anything was possible, learning the craft and baking on his own. After more than 2 months of tirelessly selling bread from his small cart, Bin finally saved enough money to buy the cart he had dreamed of. Not just a tool for selling, but a symbol of his effort and burning desire for independence. Joy surged through Bin's heart like a rising wave because he knew he was getting closer to his grand dream. Then one beautiful day, while chatting with a friendly and enthusiastic customer, the customer suggested an exciting idea. Why don't you try baking the bread yourself? That way, you'll save costs, increase your profit, and create your own unique products. That idea sparked a bright light in the darkness, igniting a flame of passion and creativity inside Bin. He couldn't stay still any longer. He had to learn to bake himself, to be not just a bread seller, but the creator of wonderful treats. But to make that dream come true, Bin needed a teacher, Mr. Anderson, the bakery owner he had long collaborated with. With all his sincerity and unwavering determination, Bin convinced Mr. Anderson to teach him how to bake. The first days were far from easy. Bin faced countless challenges: an unstable oven, dough that was hard to perfect, the precise timing and temperature required for baking, and a pile of failed loaves, some undercooked, some burnt black. Each failure made Bin feel discouraged and question himself, but he knew success never comes to those who give up easily. With iron will and a burning passion, Bin practiced day and night, learning from mistakes, gaining experience, and gradually improving his skills. After 2 relentless weeks, Bin finally baked his first perfect loaf, golden crispy crust, an irresistible aroma that made everyone eager to taste it immediately. That loaf was not just bread. It was a vivid proof of the willpower, persistence, and tireless learning of a young man. The bread not only brought profit, but also pride, joy, and marked a milestone of Bin's growth on his journey to conquer his dreams. From then on, Bin was no longer just a bread seller, but an artisan, a young entrepreneur with a passionate heart and a desire to reach even further. Business growth and facing competition. Bin didn't stop at just selling simple loaves of bread. He began baking his own, creating crispy cookies and soft, fragrant pastries. Every piece was crafted with meticulous care and burning passion. He wanted to offer customers not just food, but a warm, joyful experience in every bite. The atmosphere around Bin's bread cart became livelier than ever. His little sister eagerly helped with packaging, always greeting customers with a bright smile, while his mother carefully brewed fragrant tea, creating a cozy, intimate corner full of love and warmth. Bin's family was like a small nest, nurturing dreams together, and little by little, customers' trust in Bin grew deeper. But soon after, a new challenge appeared in the small town. A bakery opened by Eric, a young competitor full of ambition and passion. The new shop opened right next to where Bin sold his bread, gradually drawing away his customers. The number of people coming to Bin's stall noticeably dropped, and peaceful days suddenly filled with worry and uncertainty. The pressures of life, the burden of maintaining his passion on a young man's shoulders, sometimes made Bin feel exhausted and discouraged. Many might have given up in the face of such hardship, but Bin was not one of them. He knew that to hold on to his dreams and reach even further, he had to face challenges head-on and stand stronger than ever. Bin began a new journey full of creativity and determination. He decorated his bread cart, turning it into a small, colorful, eye-catching corner that attracted the attention of passers-by. He learned to make more beautiful and diverse baked goods, not only delicious, but visually appealing, because Bin understood that the first impression often decided whether customers would return. More than that, he learned to serve customers with care and joy in every small gesture. He listened attentively to every opinion, every suggestion to continuously improve his products and services. Smiles and compliments gradually returned. Customers came back to Bin's familiar bread cart, and their trust in him grew stronger. That journey was not just a battle with a competitor, but a victory within Bin himself, conquering fear, self-doubt, and inner hesitation. He learned a valuable lesson. When challenges come, we cannot run away but must face them, innovate, and persevere. From that moment on, the young man from a small town knew how to turn dreams into reality, step by step, establishing his place in the vast world outside. Great setback. The bakery fire. That night, as the small town slept peacefully, a sudden explosion shattered the silence, shaking every street and every home. Flames erupted fiercely in Bin's bakery, the very place that once held all his dreams, hopes, and sweat. The blazing fire quickly spread, devouring ovens, shelves, bags of flour, and carefully stored ingredients. The thick black smoke mixed with the acrid burnt smell filled the air, making the atmosphere suffocating and cold, much like Bin's heart at that moment. Every memory of the hard work and success he had built was reduced to ashes, leaving only in his mind, as the raging fire consumed everything. A wave of despair and helplessness crashed over him like an unstoppable storm. Others could understand this feeling, but in that moment, Bin knew if he gave up, everything would end there, and his dream would remain just a sad story in that small town. That night, Bin did not sleep. He sat silently beside the smoldering ruins, eyes distant, heart aching as if being crushed, yet his will remained unshaken. He understood that surrendering meant accepting failure, accepting a life of poverty that would forever haunt his family. The next morning, Bin resolved not to let that disaster extinguish the fire inside him. He sought out Mr. Anderson, his mentor, friend, and the only person who truly believed in him through this difficult journey. Mr. Anderson listened quietly as Bin recounted everything, seeing the fierce determination burning in the young man's eyes. No blame, no empty words of encouragement, only deep understanding and a confident nod. Mr. Anderson agreed to help Bin find a way to rise again from the ashes. Though he didn't have enough money to buy new equipment or rent another space, Bin refused to surrender to fate. He decided to return to his small home, making use of every possible corner to continue baking. Every day he worked tirelessly, each loaf coming out imperfect but filled with all his faith and relentless effort. Gradually, regular customers came back, not only for the delicious bread, but because Bin's story of resilience inspired them. This strength of perseverance quickly spread throughout the town. People were moved not just by his extraordinary willpower, but they came together to support him with small gifts, heartfelt encouragement, and practical help. Those hands lifted Ben not only materially, but also offered priceless spiritual strength, fueling him through the hardest days. Ben's story became a vivid testament that no matter how harsh life's trials may be, with faith, perseverance, and an unyielding spirit, one can rise, continuing to write their dream with their own hands and heart. Rebirth and Success. After months of struggling through hardships and seemingly insurmountable challenges, Ben finally rose stronger than ever before. The support from the community, both moral and material, became a tremendous source of motivation that kept Ben from ever giving up on his dream. He didn't just return to baking. He transformed it into an inspiring story for everyone in that small town. Ben began repairing his bakery. Not merely cleaning up and restoring what was lost, he wanted to turn the place into a fresh, cozy, and creative space. A place where every pastry was made with dedication, skill, and burning passion. With warm yellow lights, neatly arranged shelves, and the enticing aroma of flour, sugar, and vanilla filling the air, Ben Cakes, his bakery, slowly became the favorite spot for locals. But Ben didn't stop at traditional bread. He boldly expanded his product range. He learned, experimented, and created new treats like cupcakes, muffins, pastries, and even seasonal specialties. Every product was meticulously crafted, from ingredients and recipes to presentation. This novelty and quality drew customers back repeatedly, bringing friends and family along. Word of mouth spread far and wide. Ben Cakes became a symbol of resilience and continuous growth for a young man full of determination. The reopening ceremony was not only a milestone for Ben, but also a much-anticipated event for the community. The town's mayor attended and praised Ben, honoring him as an inspirational role model for youth and the entire community. The mayor said, "Ben is not just a baker. He is a symbol of willpower, faith, and human strength in the face of adversity." In that deeply emotional moment, Ben stepped onto the stage, his voice full of enthusiasm and sincerity ringing through the warm gathering. Nothing in life is free. Not success, not respect, not even love. All must be earned through hard work, relentless patience, and unwavering determination from the heart. Every step, every hardship I faced was part of this journey. And today I stand here not just for myself, but for everyone fighting for their dreams. These words were not just a speech, but a life declaration, a powerful message to everyone that no matter how hard life's challenges are, if you keep your faith and never stop striving, success will come. Ben did not just prove himself. He inspired others to rise, to build a better future together. From a young man living in a poor small town, Ben gradually built and expanded his own sweet empire. His success was not measured only by revenue or fame, but by the positive impact his story had on the community. Ben proved that no matter how humble your beginnings, if you seize opportunities, work hard, and never give up, wonderful things can happen. Ben's journey is a vivid testament to the saying, "Nothing is free." Every achievement, every ray of glory was nurtured by sweat, tears, and relentless perseverance. Ben's story is not just his own. It's the story of each of us. Those who dare to dream, dare to act, and dare to rise after every fall. Kunzy Podcast English is proud to bring you this inspiring story. We hope that by listening to it, you will feel empowered to overcome your own challenges and always remember, nothing is free, but every good thing is worth fighting for and holding on to. And now, the question for you is, are you ready to start your own journey? Let's step forward together, fearless of hardships, because success doesn't come from luck. It comes from your own persistent efforts. Bin's story is not just about a young man overcoming hardships to build his career and dreams. It is a vivid example of determination, resilience, and core values that each of us should remember throughout our lives. Every step Bin took, every challenge he faced, offers priceless lessons that we can apply to our own lives immediately. First of all, dreams are never free. No one can simply wait for success or happiness to fall from the sky. Dreams are seeds that we plant with sweat, tears, and silent sacrifices every day. Bin proved that to turn dreams into reality, we must work tirelessly and persist in every small step. The path is rarely paved with roses, but every effort and encounter with reality builds a solid foundation for the future. Nothing is free, and this reminds us that we must be ready to pay the price for our dreams. Next, failure is not the end. On the contrary, it is an opportunity to learn and grow. Bin faced many setbacks, from initial failures in learning to bake to a devastating fire that seemed to take everything away. But those failures never defeated him. Instead, they became the most valuable lessons, helping him understand himself better and improve his skills and management. Failure is an indispensable part of progress. When you view failure as a strict but fair teacher, you realize you are moving further on your journey to conquer your dreams. Another important lesson is, help yourself first. When you show people your effort and unwavering spirit, naturally, sympathetic hands will be ready to support you. Bin's father taught him that dreams are not free. Start from the smallest thing you have. When Bin dared to stand up and take action, the townspeople, Mr. Anderson, and neighbors gradually trusted and supported him. This proves a truth. Everyone wants to help others, but that only happens when they see you truly trying. Don't wait for help from anyone. Be proactive and seize opportunities. Finally, never give up. This is the strongest reminder we must keep in mind. The darkest moments, the times you feel you cannot endure any longer, are often when success is just around the corner. Bin experienced the bakery fire like a fierce storm, seemingly wiping out everything. But instead of collapsing, he rose stronger, rebuilt his bakery with enormous faith and strength. His story clearly proves the saying, success often comes right after you are about to give up. Never lose faith in yourself, because once you persevere, nothing is impossible. If Bin's story touched you and inspired you, hit like to show your support. Don't forget to share to spread the strength and inspiration to others. And subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English so you never miss meaningful stories ahead. Remember, dreams aren't free, but with effort and persistence, success will come. Let's move forward and change together. Thank you for listening. See you in the next stories.